Apple is apologizing after it confessed to slowing down older phones after they update with new software. Now, Apple says that they don't do this intentionally, so you're forced to buy a new phone. They say that they do it in order for an old battery to be able to power the processor. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm not a technology person, but
really, I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so let me give you an expert's reporting on this so you know what I mean. The feature's only intent is to prevent unexpected shutdowns so that the iPhone can still be used. The power management works by looking at a combination of the device, including temperature, battery state of charge, and the battery's impedance. Interesting.
I didn't see that coming.
Only if these variables require it, iOS will dynamically manage the maximum performance of some system components, such as the CPU and GPU, obviously, in order to prevent unexpected shutdowns. So basically, look, if you have an old phone, obviously it's gonna have an older battery, and that older battery might not be able to keep up with the new software, okay? And so the idea is that they kind of slow down some of the features of the phone in order for the battery to keep up with some shit. Okay, so people were irritated, to say the least, after Apple admitted to this, because everyone suspected that after you update with the new software, it's gonna slow down. And so since so many people were upset and since so many lawsuits have been filed against Apple, Apple says in its letter that batteries are consumable components and it is offering anyone with an iPhone 6 or an older one a replacement battery for $29 starting in late January through December of 2018, a discount of $50 from the usual replacement cost. No. Like not good enough.
Okay. No. Just
okay. They're also going to be more transparent moving forward, right? Because that was one of the biggest complaints that people had. Okay, if you're going to do this, at least let us know what's going on. Be transparent, with the consumer. And they say that beginning in 2018, they will be transparent about these issues.
All right. Main question I have for you guys is: do you believe them? Do you believe that they're playing around with the slowing down your phone just so that it'll save enough energy of the battery so that your phone actually functions a little bit better, or they're slowing it down so you'll buy a new iPhone?
Look, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a tech expert, so I feel like a clown giving you any type of speculation on this story. What I do know is that if I give them the benefit of the doubt and they are being honest, the lack of transparency really does irritate me as well. I was forced to go out and buy a new phone, right? And if I had known, all I have to do is just replace the battery and it'll be better, then I would have done that instead of purchasing this freaking iPhone 10 situation that I despise. I hate the iPhone 10. I hate it.
Wow,
yes,
that's strong.
I hate it. I love my iPhone 6. I wish I could go back to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like we've talked about this a long time ago. This is actually before the iPhone came out, with first generation. No, actually around when it came out. There was this online animated series called The Story of Stuff with Annie Leonard, and she introduced this term to me, which was planned obsolescence, right? That these companies have already built in programming and parts that are supposed to either destroy themselves or not function sustainably for an extended period of time, so that, again, we could sort of replace it with their new products so that they can continuously put consumable products on the market. And so it sounds very much like the way that she described planned obsolescence. But also, I mean, again, I'm not a tech person. I don't know if they truly are being honest about these optimization approaches that they've taken to make the new phones run faster at the mercy of the older phones and their, I guess, weak battery power. But like you, Anna, I am frustrated that this has to come out through a third party revealing this about Apple, and Apple not coming forward and saying, guess what, our phones are slowing down, you have felt it, and here you go. Let's work together to come to some sort of resolution about what makes sense for people to maintain the relationship with us as customers.
So look, I know that Apple, it's a company that wants to remain profitable, and I respect that, that's fine. And here's the thing, even with their transparency, they will remain profitable because no matter what, there are those Apple fanatics that are willing to wait in like a line that's 5 hours long just to get the newest iPhone. I don't understand it, okay? I just want to keep my old phone as long as I possibly can. But whatever, do you booze? Like, you love the technology, go for it. But our phones are now more than just phones, right? And what I mean by that is our entire lives are on this device, okay? And so I had to go to a work-related trip on the East Coast when I still had my iPhone 6, and it just kept, after I did the software update, it just kept shutting down. I'd have 40% battery, boom, it would shut down.
Yep.
Then I couldn't charge it. I'm not in my hometown, I'm nowhere near home. I'm traveling, my phone's not working. I have all the data I need to make this travel situation run smoothly, and my phone's shutting down. And so the transparency is really important. And by the way, that's me talking as a privileged person who can afford to go out there and buy a new phone. What about the people who can't afford to buy a new phone every other year? That's outrageous.
And all this, you weren't the only person. There was like a circle of people around me who were expressing their frustration of what was happening with their phones. It's this collective detraction from Apple being a compelling product. So they are losing customers, they are losing potential profits by not satisfying y'all. I know, and I mean, thankfully I got the phone before this whole sort of shutdown situation happened, and I saw tons of people who were expressing outrage over having to deal with a non-functioning phone, which, like you said, is not just a phone. It's like a non-functioning access to your professional life.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Now look, I like Apple. I've got an iPhone. ShopTUIT.com for that sticker. Anyway, but I'm with you guys. I think I'm a little further than you guys actually. Luckily for us, I am a tech expert.
Wrong again.
Okay, so
I'm waiting for this.
Okay, here's the overall look, right? So they tell us, well, man, the hardware, you got to keep buying new ones, and nothing we can do. Golly gee, what are we, like the leading tech company in the world, the #1 most profitable company in the world? Like, we can't solve it. We're all these engineers, thousands and thousands of engineers. On the other hand, the software that you're hooked on. So you got your music on iTunes. Well, that's solid as a rock, because they don't want you to move to a different kind of phone. So whatever is in the cloud or whatever is attached, the information attached to your phone, that works perfectly, because that's the thing that's got you hooked and you can't get rid of it, right? If you move to a whole phone, a different kind of phone, you got to get all the new numbers, you got to put the numbers in again, you got to get new music, et cetera, right? But when it comes to the hardware, which you have to buy every couple of years, oh, did it slow down? Oh golly, geez, slowed down again, didn't it? What an unlucky break. I mean, it was the power, and then we brought down the flash in your camera, and we were gonna do this, and we were gonna do that. And so I had this gut instinct, which a lot of you did, even if you're not a tech expert like me.
Please don't, I think you're gonna say something that I really hope you don't say.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't even know what that is. Okay. That the updates that everybody was telling me, do the updates. That the updates were part of the problem.
That's what I was hoping that you wouldn't say.
So
please
why?
Please do the update, please, because it has security features. Okay, that's one of the good things about Apple products. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're unhackable. Of course, they're hackable, but there are security updates when you update your phone.
I know,
that
but
are important. They're important.
No, I know, and I just did it. I do it all. Look, I do it, but I do it with, like, I know this is going to screw up my phone, and so yes, the upside is it's better protected. The downside is, yeah, as soon as I did the update a couple of days ago, 40% sorry, 1% sorry, gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so now I got to go buy a new battery at least, but I got to wait till the end of January because that's when they had $50 off, and and they can fix it. They're choosing not to. Of course, it's planned obsolescence. I had the same kind of epiphany you did, Maytha, when I read the story about the airlines and how they have
calculated discomfort?
Calculated misery.
Misery, that sounds so much worse.
Yeah, it's calculated misery. They make you more and more miserable until you want to get on the plane first. You want to, and you pay to get on the plane fares. Pay for this, pay for that. So, and I was like, yes, that's the thing I was feeling in my gut, that they were squeezing us in the case of the planes, literally, right? And so, and it's not just Apple. All these guys are doing it to make more money, and I get it. We all get that they want to make more money, but the obfuscation around it, and all of our frustrations. Overall, at some point, it's going to be a bad long-term strategy because our battery is going to start to run out in terms of our trust in the product.
Yeah.
A little battery analogy there.
I like it. Good job, Jake.
You just watched the video by the Young Turks, the home of the revolution. If you'd like to get the full show, come join us and become a member. TYTnetwork.com/join.